time-sensitive airdrop alpha, actionable insights, and more token announcements and claims to count. Let's go. Starting with Solana and Meteora, you have just about 1 day to submit your appeals for points because on Thursday, 2:30 p.m. UTC, same time as the community call for Meteora, there will be finalized points and no more allocations can be secured past that point. Of course, Meteora is one of the more anticipated airdrops of 2025, and they keep developing new projects and launching new tokens. In fact, just a couple days ago, Caesar token launched on Solana and it started trading on Meteora. And of course, if you want to catch these crazy pumps and tokens, you have to always check the pools that are going to be yielding you the biggest possible returns. So in this case, we can see that the numbers are absolutely crazy. Sol Caesar pools are yielding everything between 5 to 100% daily APR. Of course, this is very inflated because in the first couple of hours, whales deposited so much and withdrew since. But I do imagine these to be still between 1 to 5% daily, even by the time you're watching this video. Needless to say, all of this is incredibly risky and new launches will always carry a huge amount of risk, but this is one of those AI plays on Solana that might still be worth it for a couple of days from the LP perspective. If you want to just speculate on the price, it does seem to be ranging some kind of new potential range in this area, but again, it's a new launch token, so you always have to monitor it carefully. I usually use 1 or 5 minute charts just in case anything crazy happens. You need to manage your stop losses even in yield farming. Another super time sensitive update is coming from Bless and it's time airdrop. There's going to be a 10% Bless for mainnet launch fully released on the launch date, and you have only until August 21st by 6 p.m. UTC to register. And basically criteria is if you've been running a node, you participated in previous testnet phases, or you've been an active community member, or if you've built on Bless. One thing to note is that there is going to be a 3-month stake boost for 3x, 12-month stake for 8x, or 18-month stake for 15x boost. But if you believe the cycles, then you might want to cash out at bull cycle top. So probably it's best to not stake at all, or at least go with a 3-month stake. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that no matter how fancy the tokenomics, they do have reward token, protocol token, everything regarding this, but very few tokenomics, no matter how fancy they are with buybacks and long-term growth, they rarely survive a bear market. And you can check the whole tokenomics here. I will leave both posts in the description of the video. Essentially, almost 2/3 are going to ecosystem, airdrops, and future community incentives. Now, a quick update on security. So, of course, always when you're approving tokens, you should always only approve the amount that you're swapping or bridging. There's been a lot of FUD going around Relay Protocol over the last couple of days and weeks regarding their security. If users who have been using it have randomly been drained, and this is the TLDR. It is actually safe at current standards. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in crypto, and you should always exercise caution. If you are not sure about any of your wallets, you should always just go to revoke.cash or Rabby batch revoke option. That is the safest way to stay safe and make sure that all of your approvals are always in check. And how this looks like in practice, if you're using the Rabby option, which is most convenient, then you simply go in the approvals tab and make sure that your DApp is updated to the latest version. Go here in the contract and you can batch revoke everything. Keep in mind that, of course, if you're using Ethereum mainnet, you should try to time it when ETH gas is the lowest, because you might pay a hefty sum if you have 10, 20, 30 approvals on Ethereum mainnet. Alternatively, you can just copy paste your wallet address here in the revoke.cash website, and here you will be able to either connect the wallet or check all the approvals without making any kind of connection. But it is also a very fast and straightforward way to get all your wallet hygiene, let's call it like that, sorted. Next up, a super quick reminder for Ethereal. Season 1 started on August 14th, but it was only open to the first 100 wallets on the leaderboard. So if you want to participate in the open beta, you'll have to be a little more patient for a couple more days. However, don't forget that you have deposited into the vault for the pre-deposits. You can simply add an extra Lego with Strata. Santiago has already made a video about this, but if you haven't done that, it is a little bit extra risk, of course, but it is a very nice multiplier and an airdrop Lego. And another token we have to look forward to is from Mitosis. MITO token is going to be launched on Mitosis mainnet. It will be the native token of Mitosis chain, which is fully EVM compatible. Staking will be available from day one, and most important numbers from the tokenomics and distribution is ecosystem 45.5%, and the Genesis airdrop is going to include 10% of total supply. Total supply is going to be 1 billion tokens. Now we also have two huge bridge updates. First from Wormhole, which is, of course, no doubt the most used bridge in crypto history with over 54 billion in all-time volumes. And they're launching something called Portal Earn, where you will simply be earning extra experience for using the network. All the Wormhole dApps will now yield experience, and it will work in a very simple form of using the dApps, subscribing to Wormhole newsletter, and in a limited time, you also have to join the waitlist to get extra 10,000 experience and a head start from everyone else. Also in the future, there's going to be rewards for staking W tokens, so Wormhole tokens, but more on that later. If you wish to join for this early access, you just need to drop your email and join the waitlist that way. All the links for everything will always be in the first link of the description of every video. And the other update from Bridges is from Hyperlane. If you have pre-registered for the pre-claims, now you have 2 weeks starting August 18 until September 1st to claim your allocations. Also, make sure to check the current prices because as of that crazy upbeat listing where Hyperlane did a 6x, it's been on a slow decline. So maybe if you have some extra tokens ready for you, maybe don't wait too long to claim and potentially sell a smaller allocation or bigger allocation, depending on your risk management. Also, there is a Symbiotic dashboard where you might find some extra rewards for simply staking on their platform. So if you've been staking Hyperlane tokens on Binance Smart Chain, make sure to check the rewards and points tab in the Symbiotic app. Of course, if you want to be in the loop, one of the simplest ways to stay up to date with everything is in a private community like in our Discord. We talk about Hyperlane and many other active airdrops we're tracking across many different ecosystems, and just getting a perspective from the DeFi and airdrop veterans like here, it can be very, very, very valuable. Here we can see that most people have received a very good cash out from Hyperlane Season 2, and Bleaky is a firm believer that there's going to be a huge era of interoperability coming in the next couple of months and years, and it is just an invaluable perspective to have. Of course, there's been reports of people making $500,000 from Hyperlane Season 2 as well, but that is another topic. If you want to be a part of this, all you have to do is check the subscriptions tab and choose monthly or yearly plans and decide if your time is valuable and how you're going to capitalize on it. Of course, there's also an NFT collection that is generating you 10% a month. Well, 7 to 10, we're getting back on track. And it is also an option for everyone who wants passive income hands-free. And zooming into Hyperliquid ecosystem real quick with HyperBeat, two very important updates. We have basically jumper of Hyperliquid. It's called MasterSwap, and it is basically aggregating you the best possible rates across many different liquidity providers and AMMs on HyperEVM. Also, the HyperBeat EVM itself is a home to some incredible yield. If you just wish to participate in a Pendle version of HyperEVM, it is on Spectra. Of course, it is a smart contract risk, but you can earn 32% fixed APY on your Hype tokens. This is, of course, going down very, very quickly. It was 42 just a couple of days ago, but at the current rates, you can still earn a nice return if you're just looking to stake your Hype tokens and you're not already actively staking them with Hyperliquid itself for future airdrops. And finally, if you're going to be looking to add to your Hype bags, I will be personally adding between the $40 to $41 range, assuming we ever get those levels again. And that is a wrap for all the topics for today. If you find the content valuable, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. Any questions, comments, I'm waiting for you in the comment section below and in our Discord. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, have an amazing day.